Welcome back, vacationers, on another video. How you guys been? Yeah, it's been a while. But I want to talk to you guys today in regards to the MSC's cruise line. Have you heard of them? I just got off a 3-day cruise with the MSC Magnifica. Now, the things I heard about the MSC cruise lines going into embarkation, it's a little sketchy. So I have my thoughts. On embarkation day, everything went well except for two things. The first hiccup is that part of the package that we bought was a premier package, the Aria package, which gave us priority embarkation and debarkation. Now, overall, getting off and on the ship was pretty smooth, pretty quick, maybe 25 minutes tops. But I did pay for a premium, and that premium was priority embarkation. When we pulled up to security, to the TSA, for them to check and go through clearance and all that, there was a priority sign, but there was no priority line. I went to the desk where the security was and I asked them, and they just shrugged at me and told me to get to the regular line. Now, this isn't a big deal, but I paid for it. You are paying for it if you're going on this ship, and what you pay for, you have an expectation to. That was part one. Second part is the muster drill. Now, I've been in other ships and everybody has a different muster drill. This one's kind of chaotic. You basically go to your room, everything shuts down. All the bars, everything, the pools shuts down. Everybody at the same time must go to their room and watch this video. Once you watch this video, you have to pick up the phone and then call a number they give you to confirm you watched the video, I guess. Then everybody at the same time needs to get out their room, no elevators, that makes sense, and then go to their muster stations to check in. The stairs were chaotic. The good thing, I kind of was a little bit of ahead of the game, so as soon as that number came up, we called and we dashed it out and went straight to our muster station, checked in. But the problem now was that if you check in and you check in early like we did, you have to wait. You have to wait almost an hour and change for the captain to come up and say, okay, everybody has checked in, continue as usual. Because until then, everything stays closed. Now, another problem that we had is that when we went to our room, the room itself was beautiful, it was great, just had two problems. One problem is that the AC wasn't cooling correctly. We put in our card, we lowered the AC, and since we're stuck there for an hour, right, it got pretty muggy, right? The second thing, the door. The door didn't close properly. And when I mean it didn't close properly, I mean I had to literally force the door to close properly and engage so it doesn't open from the other side. Of course, I called guest service and I went down to the service booth to talk to that. Let me talk about the service on this ship. The service on this ship was top class. And let me be frank, moving forward after this point, the embarkation, and once we were on the water, it was one of the best trips I've ever had. The service here was so top notch that I'll give you the example. Once I went to service and I told them about our plight, they fixed the AC, but they really couldn't fix the door. There was a dent on the door, you could see something happened. But they did the best they could to the point where the door did close and engage. So instead of having to push it, all you have to do is just kind of tug it and it'll close. Fine, I'm okay with that. The room was great and it was a great located room. I had no problems. But because of this, they basically, not basically, they did send us champagne bottles every single night. All these things that they sent us, and the most annoying of them all, which I wholeheartedly appreciate, is that they called us every single day, sometimes twice a day, to make sure we were okay, to make sure everything was all right, to make sure we received the champagne bottles. I mean, they went above and beyond. And this was just not just the guest service. Everybody on the ship was just above and beyond. I did not have one bad experience with anybody of the staff. Now let's talk about the ship. The ship is not a big ship. It's actually a very small ship. And I actually appreciate that because the smaller the ship, the more quaint it is, especially on a small voyage. You get accustomed to it very fast. You get to know your locations very quickly compared to the bigger ships where they're so big, like you get lost in them, right? So for this trip, exactly, I was going for relaxation, chill time. And that's what that ship is, right? Because there are so many bars, meaning there are a lot of bars, but there are so many lounges, places where you could just sit, have a drink, and relax. That's pretty much the theme of this boat. If I were to break down the boat, it's basically in 4 decks. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is where you have most of your entertainment, your bars, the theater, guest service, all that. It's there. And then deck 13. Deck 13 is where you have the pool, the solarium, the aria place, and the spa. You also have your cafeteria at the other end. Right, this is a good segue into the food. Before going on this trip, I saw a lot of reviews on blogs and on videos on YouTube in regards to the food, saying that this is a cruise line with really bad food or subpar food. That was not my experience. All the food on the ship was good. I'm not gonna say it was phenomenal. I'm not gonna say it was top A. It was good food. Food I like, food I could eat, and I'll eat again. Now, this I would say, the pizza on this ship is top tier. I think it's the best pizza on any cruise line, especially fresh, right out of the oven. The cheese, the pepperoni pizza was phenomenal, to the point that you can have an obsession over this pizza. I tried very hard not to be obsessed with this pizza because we wanted to keep eating it because it was so good. Little tidbit here. We only had breakfast and lunch at the cafeteria. We never had dinner there because we had dinner at the restaurant. Now, to the dinner at restaurant, like I said, the staff was great. The food was great. It was really, really good. The steak, I love the steak so much that I ate it twice. So freaking good, so juicy, so delicious, made just right. So for the experience of the restaurant was phenomenal. The experience in the cafeteria was good, really good. We did not have a bad experience there. So I really don't know what everybody was talking about in regards to their food, but this was my experience. We did do the theater. We did one show, and that was actually by accident. We just kind of walked up in there. I enjoyed it very much. It was a good show. It was a show in regards to rock and roll music from back to then, the top hits. The performance were phenomenal. The singing was phenomenal. The show was phenomenal. We kind of just walked in there. They had started the show. It was kind of like 2 minutes into the show. And then somehow, some way, we just found ourselves in a seat. And we just saw the entire show. We loved the show. The theater itself, it's a decent sized theater. I don't know the standards for theater size. I mean, we're not going to compare it to the Icon or anything and all that. But it was a good, decent size. Everybody was comfortable. I was comfortable. Let me not say everybody. I don't want to speak for others. But I felt comfortable. It was a good show. I loved it. We did go on an excursion. I would suggest, if you're going on a couples trip, to do the Blue Lagoon. Just because it's a private beach, no kids are allowed. And you get a free rum punch and yo no sé qué. I really didn't care about that. I just really cared about the privacy and the quietness of the area, right? Where you have somebody come to you, lunch is included. So that was really nice. The experience is a little expensive, right? I believe it was $170 per person for the experience. But to me, it was worth it because you kind of separate from the madness of the beach. And before I forget, it does include the sea encounter, which is an area of the Blue Lagoon where they have dolphins and they have sea lions. And it's like this little mini seaquarium. I won't even call it aquarium, just this little mini area just for those two. But that was actually really cool because we went and checked it out. And the dolphins were phenomenal. Here's a little clip of them just saying hi to us. It's a whole pond.
You see him go like that with his face?
Like that?
Yeah!
Where did this one come from?
Hello!
But yeah, overall this trip was phenomenal. Like the MSC Magnifica really was a good experience, a really fun experience. So much so that we booked another experience for next year on a different cruise, but still with the MSC, just so we could start exploring. Because like I said, I just enjoyed it. I had a great time. Don't let the reviews and don't let the stigma of MSC snare you away from coming on this ship. Try it for yourself, experience it for yourself on anything, right? That's what happened to me. Like, I was very skeptical about going on the ship. I was actually gonna go to Volcano Bay instead, but I decided to risk it and go on the ship, and I'm so happy I did. Now it's your turn. Have you been on the ship before? What was your experience? Comment down below and let us know. I really, really, really would like to know, because like I said, the reviews on this is kind of all over the place. But comment down below, like and subscribe if you like the video. Until the next time, stay safe.